Yeah, hi guys, welcome. Um, so today I'm gonna tell you a little bit about classes in Crowfall. I'm just gonna give you a slight overview, um, nothing too much in depth because we want to be done in a couple of minutes. And if you want some classes to have me a deeper look into, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna make it happen. The thing I'm probably gonna do first, because I know most about it, is a champion. I really like minotaurs and centaurs for it. So let me explain you first. When you're creating a champion, or basically your hero, your vessel, it's called in Crowfall, it has a race and it has a class. So basically, what's important, the class gives it the base class abilities, and it determines which runes it can carry, where you can get further skills from, and the race, which has some racial traits, usually some racial abilities, and some stats, how like that raises your cap on strength or constitution or values like that. But we're not going to go into this now. We're just going to look at the classes, and I'm going to tell you a bit what their role is. So it's probably pretty obvious, but just to clarify, I'm also talk a little about how the balancing and the meta is as I perceive it. I don't have too much experience about it, but I think I can give you like a rough guess what you would want to play if you don't want to, like, if you want to win PvP fights when you get into them, or if you just be like, okay, it's my class, but it's just under spec at the moment. So first we have the knight. He's like the classical tank class, has a shield and a sword. As I see it, he has a lot CC and buff mechanics for the group, or debuff mechanics for the opposite group. Then we have the Confessor. This all takes a while to load. I mean, we're still in the pre-alpha, so... But for a pre-alpha, like at least when you're in the game and you have decent hardware, it's fun. But what we want to talk about now is the Confessor. That's basically your basic Fire Mage class. Then we have the Templar, who can play Templar, not about Elkan. Can play Templar. But later we're going to go through all the races and see what they can play. And in the very end of the video, if I can figure out how to make one of those little fancy links to jump directly to a minute position in the video, I'm going to put those to you in the descriptions. Then we're going to see which races can play which classes, and maybe a bit information about the caps and all the stuff in case you want to know about that. So the Templar is really like, he goes in and has nice buffs for the group, nice buffs, and does damage. At the moment he is a bit buggy. I don't really know what the bug is about. I haven't played around too much with him yet. But when you guys, like, this goes for any class. If you guys want to see a particular class, a guide on, let me know in the comments and I get into it and I make a video about it. So no worries about that. Yeah, Templar has a two-hand sword, goes in, does damage, is on the holy side, so maybe he can heal a little. Not perfectly sure about that, but he's supposed to be a good class. Ranger has two stances. He has a melee stance and a rage stance. I mean, obviously the Confessor is ranged, Templar is melee, and Knight is melee. The Ranger has both, so you can give him daggers, I think, and a bow, and then you can switch between those stances depending on the situation. Also have quite some damage and quite nice in PvE. Um, Assassins. Assassins are quite, like, I think you see them around because reason one, they are strong against champions. Like champions, I heard is probably one of the most OP classes at the moment, but assassins can like compete with them because they burst them down a lit, disappear in the shadows, go invisible, and like do this over and over. And if you fail as a champion to build anger or hatred, I'm not really too sure about the specific workings of the several resources that you have. But anyhow, the champion has a heal, but he needs to generate hatred, which he generates when he is hit or hits someone. But this heal doesn't work with an assassin because he comes in, stabs you, poisons you, disappears, and while he is away and heals himself, you lose health. So you either have to run around and constantly heal yourself with bandages, or it's a pain in the ass. Like I said, I'm a champion player, so if you want to fuck up champions, go for assassin. If you like melee, not sure about the range classes. So next is Druid. I think the Wood Elf can play Druid. Yes, he can. Druid is your healer. I don't even know if he does shapeshifting. I should maybe find that out and figure that out. Frost Elf. Frost Elf is something I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be the Frost Mage. I hope to see some stuff with like slows because he obviously frosts things. I mean, it's cold, you get slower. Um, I'm really curious what mechanics they want to come up with. So the whole Crowfall team, because they making quite a buzz around it, and they say they really want to come up with something cool. Say he won't be in for the next campaign 5.8, which is the first campaign where all the features come in and we finally gonna have a first playable campaign that you can actually win. So I'm quite thrilled about this as well. But back to the classes. Frostweaver, check it out on the website. If you want, I can do a video about it, on at least about the rumors. Let me know in the comments, please. And let's get on to the champion. Like I said, I usually play the Minotaur as a champion because the Minotaur is stun immune from the front side, and he has this weird skill Endure, where you heal yourself for every damage that you receive, but then at a later stage you get the damage as a dot, so you can basically delay damage, which could be quite useful in team fights and stuff when you know, okay, I just gotta survive 5 more seconds and then I'm gonna be back with my healer. So that's one thing that speaks for the Minotaur. For the half giant champion speaks that he has the highest increase of a strength cap. So I'm going to get into this deeper later, but how the vessels work is that they have certain traits, and there is a cap for every attribute that you can distribute your points on. And once an attribute is capped, you can't invest any more points in it. So let's say a miniature can get to 160 because he has plus 60 health cap, and 100 would be the usual health cap. I'm just making those numbers up, but just to give you the idea. The half giant has plus 100, and this is a definite fact. This I'm not making up, instead of the minotaur just having 50 or 60. So basically, with a half giant, you get a lot of life, which is quite cool as a champion because you have your heal and you're dealing significant damage. You can stun and you are in fights fast because of your leap, and you're out fast. It's on a 26-second cooldown where you have at least one heal in the fight, which heals you for, I think, subjectively, it's half of my health that just goes back up again. So champions are really cool. I can really recommend them. But this is also due to the current meta, which I haven't actually really checked out because whenever I just met only once somebody in PvP, so not too much happening nowadays because you can't win any campaigns. The Myrmidon is like um, a bit like a suicidal champion with two weapons. So I haven't looked into him too far as well, but he has some skills where he like heals for damage that he deals, but this would also require a target which is on constant lockdown or a group. Like a Myrmidon has also a lot of AoE attacks, but can't really say how reliable they are at the moment. So, but still, if you say, hey, just two-hand weapons, that's my choice, play him, but they're not the best in the meta at the moment. Cleric is, I think, a quite sustainable healer at the moment for PvP. So if you go for healer, I would recommend Cleric third and Druid second. I might be wrong at that, so if you have more specific information on that, also leave a comment, I'll look into it. And then last is the Duelist, which is like an assassin type who has ranged weapons. So he can also go invisible, shoot at you. They can be quite annoying. I played against one in PvP as a champion and I smashed him quite easily. So what else is there to say? Invisibility might be interesting. Who can go invisible? That's the assassin, that's the duelist, and it's the ranger. If I'm not mistaken, it's even a race-related trait. So let's go into this one. Instead, well, you haven't seen all the races yet, so I'll just click quickly through them anyway, so you can just have a look at them. I'll just turn them around real quickly and then not really get into too much what classes they play because it's just wasting time more or less. And ooh, Fays have wings. They are played quite often for assassins, so there might be a reason. Probably they have good dexterity values, but this will come in a second video. Wood Elf looks like that. Pointy ears. High Elf. They are the best pick for mage because of their intelligence caps. So if you want to go Confessor or Frostweaver, High Elf is the theoretical best thing. With the points, those come out of the skill tree, which I should maybe show you afterwards. But we're in classes now. For the skill tree, I'll do it a different time, and this will maybe change anyway. So just a short video on that, but a separate one. So Tauren, like as Minotaurs, like I said, I really liked about them that they're stun immune from the front. So I mean, after 4 stuns, you get immunity for a while anyway, but I mean, just not being that often stunned in the first place, and then when you're stunned 4 times, you get this immunity. I like Minotaurs. Centaurs are, yeah, centaurs. Look at this. Half horse, half man. And there is even a female version of them. Isn't that beautiful? Her face looks a bit like she seems pretty angry, but who cares? And of course, the Guinekeens, cute little rascals. So what I wanted to show you now is, let me just quickly go into the Discord. Don't switch devices in here. This is, by the way, my guild, and here we have in combat info. This is actually what I wanted to show you. So here, I mean, you can pause this video. Basically, you can see here what I have been talking about, that a half giant can get a cap, like a total strength of 200 in comparison to those other races. So half giants melees are gonna deal sick damage. They're not the smartest ones, so some professions that scale with intellect won't be for you, or spirit, and constitution is, I mean, it's not bad. A minotaur got 170, but only 160 strength, and the centaur has got 200 of constitution, so centaur is more like a more tanky, faster running away, soaking up more damage thing, and the half giant just kicks ass, man. So this is what I wanted to show you, and yeah, this looks funny. So back to the game, and that's it for today for classes overview. Again, subscribe, it helps. I want to build this channel, I want to do stuff. If I have some followers, I'll probably even announce streams really more reliable and be up at the times when I like announce them. And let me know what you want to see. I mean, I like Crowfall. I really enjoy finding out stuff and digging in and finding out like how it works, what goes on, and just let me know. Even if you just say, hey, I don't have the money to play the game but want to learn more about it, I'm your way to get down there and get all the info. So then I'm gonna say bye bye. I hope you enjoyed it.